Good morning, students. Today, in this lecture, we'll discuss metal carbonyls. Thus, we'll take a sum up on metal carbonyls as their structural and bonding features and some interesting features about the carbonyl ligands. So, let us go for the introduction part. Thus, metal carbonyls are among the longest known and important classes of organometallic compounds, and here these carbonyl ligands can easily substituted for various number of other ligands like Lewis bases, like olefin ligands or arenes. Thus, a common starting material in the synthesis of many classes of organometallic compounds, carbonyl ligands are often used. After substitution, remaining carbon monoxide group stabilizes the molecule against oxidation or thermal decomposition. So let's see about the structure of the carbon monoxide. And you can see in this slide the molecular orbital diagram for carbon monoxide is shown. So thus, since we know that oxygen is more electronegative in nature, so its orbitals will be having lower energy as compared to carbon. So thus, in this molecular orbital diagram, you can find the HOMO, highest occupied molecular orbital, as the sigma orbital, and the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, which is the pi or pi star orbital lying on the carbon. So thus, this orbital diagram or molecular orbital diagram shows the empty pi star acceptor orbital, which are vacant since these are acceptor orbitals on the carbonyl ligand, and you can see that there is a sigma orbital, low lying sigma orbital, which is occupied by the electrons. So thus making a powerful pi acceptor ligand, and it is an excellent ligand, therefore which can stabilize many of the electron rich or low valent metal centers. So thus interesting features about these metal carbonyls are carbon monoxide is not ordinarily considered as very strong Lewis base because it not only donates sigma electrons but it also have a capability of accepting the pi electrons from the metal, so hence it forms a strong bond to the metals in the metal carbonyls. So the metals are always in the low oxidation state. When you see a metal carbonyls, metals are always in the lower oxidation state and most often in zero oxidation state, or sometimes also in the low positive or lower negative oxidation states. 99% of metal carbonyls remarkably obey the 18 electron rule, and which helps us to predict the exact structure of the metal carbonyls. So these are the few example of metal carbonyls which are stable and first row transition metals. So you can see, we know that carbonyl ligands has the or metal carbonyls are have the vast variety of the complexes. These can be formed in the mononuclear form or dinuclear, tri or tetra or hexanuclear form. So you can see mononuclear examples of these metal carbonyls are hexacarbonyl vanadium complex, hexacarbonyl chromium complex, or pentacarbonyl iron, tetracarbonyl nickel, and dinuclear complexes are also present like Mn2CO10, Fe2CO9, and CO2CO8. So trinuclear, tetranuclear, and hexanuclear complexes are also present. So let us see the few examples with the structures of these metal carbonyls. So in the first example, you can see it is the structure of Mn2CO10. So here you can see that all the 5 carbonyl ligands are directly attached to manganese metal atom as terminally bonded. Okay, whereas in the second example you can see that few of the carbonyl ligands are terminally bonded, whereas few are bridging between the two metal centers. The third example is of Fe2CO9, whereas 3 carbonyl ligands are terminally attached and 3 of the carbonyl ligands are bridging between the two iron atoms. So let us now go for the metal carbonyls structure and bonding. So we know that to understand the structure and bonding of these metal centers or these metal carbonyls, we can see this Dewar Chad Duncanson model to understand it. So carbon monoxide is an unsaturated ligand, and we know that there is a triple bond present between the carbon and oxygen. So thus carbon monoxide is classed as soft ligand because it is capable of accepting metal d pi electrons by back donation, and it is sigma donor and hence pi acceptor ligand. So hence we can predict two types of bonding in the metal carbonyls. One is the carbon to metal donation, that is sigma bonding, and the sigma bonding is formed between the HOMO orbital of carbon monoxide and the vacant metal orbital. And the other type of bonding is the back donation, that is metal to carbon monoxide back donation, and which occurs via the transfer of electrons from the filled metal dxz or yz orbital to the vacant pi star orbital of the carbon monoxide. So thus in this structure or in this figure, let us understand the exact orbitals which are involved in the bonding. The metal Eg orbital forms a sigma bond. Metal Eg orbitals form a sigma bond with the HOMO orbital of CO, since we know that the CO, that HOMO orbital, is the sigma orbital and that is based on the carbon atom. And due to higher electronegativity, we know that oxygen and higher electronegativity of oxygen, its orbitals have lower energy, and the metal T2G orbitals form a pi bond with the carbon monoxide pi star LUMO orbital. We know that LUMO is also polarized towards the carbon, and that pi star vacant orbitals are present on the carbon. Thus the filled metal d pi orbital back donates to the carbon LUMO and increasing the electron density at both carbon as well as oxygen, because CO pi star has both carbon and oxygen character. So thus the result is that the carbon becomes more positive due to back donation. The electron density will be moved, and the result is that carbon becomes more positive on coordination and oxygen becomes more negative. This translates into polarization of CO on bonding. So thus metal induced polarization chemically activates CO ligands. So this chemical activation or chemically activation of CO ligands is nothing but it makes the carbon more sensitive towards the nucleophilic attack because it bears some of the positive charge on the coordination. Similarly, oxygen is more sensitive to electrophilic attack because we know that after back donation it acquires some negative charge. So thus the polarization will be modulated by the effect of other ligands on the metal centers and by the net charge on the complex. So thus we can see when an electron can undergo or when a carbon atom can bear a particularly delta positive charge or it can have lesser delta positive charge. So thus if the L groups is nothing but the other ligands which are attached to the metals. If those other ligands, if those are good pi acids, that means they want electron density towards them, then the back donation will be reduced, and hence the carbon atom can only have more sigma donation. So as a result it can acquire more delta positive charge. And also if the complex is cationic means less electron rich metal, or we can say electron poorer metal. So when electron poorer metals are there, the extent of back donation will be lowered, and hence only the extent of sigma donation will be more, and hence carbon can acquire more delta positive charge. So thus the carbon to metal sigma donor electron transfer will be enhanced at the expense of metal to carbon back donation. So thus in the second case, if the L groups are in the first case L groups were good pi acids, but in the second case if the same L groups are good donors, then and or the complex is anionic. If L groups are good donors or the complex is anionic, we know that back donation will be encouraged. When back donation will be encouraged, more electron density will be passed, and hence the CO will lose its pronounced delta positive charge. So thus these are the structural features, the structural and bonding features of the metal carbonyls. So depending upon these polarization, metal carbonyls undergo various catalytic reactions. Thank you. Thank you for watching.